Hello everybody. In the summer of 1754, in the quiet town of Windham, Connecticut, a night of terror unfolded that would be remembered for a century. An event so bizarre that it became the subject of ballads and folklore across the colonies. This is the story of the Great Windham Frog Fight, an event later immortalized as a tale of mass hysteria, loud croaking, and a huge misunderstanding. Today we'll be retelling a strange historical event focusing on the most famous account provided by the Samuel Peters and what actually happened during the so-called attack of the French frogs. It was a sweltering June night in 1754 and the people of Windham were on the edge. The French and Indian War had just begun and tensions filled the air. On top of this, a drought had left the land dry and the crops dying. A sense of foreboding had settled over the small town. Just after midnight, a series of eerie booming sounds echoed through the streets of Windham. Townspeople were jolted awake and panic spread like wildfire. According to Samuel Peters, a popular 19th century historian who retold the tale, the sounds were like 1,000 demons, and many in the town believed they were under attack by the French or Native American tribes. Some even thought it was Judgment Day. Peters claimed that the town's militia, led by the Colonel Dyer and Jediah Elderkin, scrambled to defend Windham. In his version, the brave militia fired their muskets into the darkness, shooting blindly at what they thought was an invading army. The townspeople, Peters said, huddled in their homes, praying for salvation as the horrifying noises continued through the night. By morning, the noises finally stopped, and Windham's residents cautiously emerged from their homes, expecting to find carnage and battle-worn enemies. What they found, however, was a scene that was much more amphibian. According to Peters, the supposed invading army was in fact bullfrogs, hundreds of them, gathered near a small pond of Colonel Dyer's property, fighting fiercely over the last remaining puddles of water in the drought-ravaged land. The sound that had sent Windham into frenzy was nothing more than the croaks and death throes of frogs competing for water. So as dawn broke, the townspeople found the battlefield littered with dead frogs, their bellies turned upward. The Windham Frog Fight, as it became known, was one of the strangest mass panics in colonial history. Though Samuel Peters' dramatic version of events became the most popular retelling, it is widely recognized as a bit of an exaggeration. In reality, the town probably did hear the frogs, but the panic was likely much less grandiose than Peters suggested. Instead of militia valiantly defending against an imaginary army, the truth was probably closer to confused villagers being alarmed by the noise of thousands of frogs.